48 teams. 3 nations hosting. 104 matches standing between now and a champion. The 2026 FIFA World Cup is officially underway, and Week 1 has already rewritten what we thought we knew. By the end of this film, you will know every result, every table shift, every shock, and which matches next week could end someone's tournament before it has barely begun. 48 nations entered the group stage across 16 venues spread across the United States, Canada, and Mexico, the first World Cup ever hosted by 3 countries simultaneously. Week 1 delivered 16 matches across 8 groups. There were goals, red cards, penalty drama, and at least 2 results that nobody saw coming. Let's go group by group, because the table right now tells a story that will haunt some of these nations all tournament long. Group A, the host group, the pressure cooker. The United States opened on home soil in Los Angeles, and the weight of a nation was in the air. Mexico, in their first World Cup as a co-host, faced Uruguay. Canada hosted their opener in Toronto. Every result here carried political and emotional stakes far beyond football. But before we go deeper into the group narratives, the single biggest story of Week 1 was an upset that nobody in their right mind predicted. And it happened in Group D. Group D, France versus Poland. On paper, a formality. Kylian Mbappé leading a generation-defining French squad, facing a Polish side that many tipped to finish bottom of their group. France had the pedigree, the depth, the favourites tag. And then, Poland won. 2-1. A first-half strike from Robert Lewandowski's replacement generation, a second from the penalty spot, and France, world number 2 in the FIFA rankings, left the pitch with nothing. Mbappé had a chance. He had 3, actually. But the French captain, making his 3rd World Cup appearance, could not find the net on a night that France will spend the rest of the group stage trying to recover from. France's defeat in Week 1 places them in a position they have not been in since the 2002 World Cup, when they exited in the group stage as defending champions. History does not repeat, but it does rhyme. And that brings us to Group D's other match, Argentina versus Australia. Lionel Messi, 38 years old, stepped onto a World Cup pitch in Dallas, Texas, and scored. Of course he did. Argentina won 2-0. Messi with the opener, Lautaro Martinez with the second. Cool, efficient, inevitable, and now they sit top of Group D with France already chasing. At 38, Messi became the oldest player to score in a World Cup group stage match since Roger Milla in 1994. Every time history says he is finished, he writes another chapter. Group B delivered its own drama. Spain were expected to cruise, and cruise they did, but not without a scare. Lamine Yamal, 18 years old, scored and assisted as Spain beat Morocco 3-1 in a match that was level at 1-1 with 20 minutes remaining. Morocco's Atlas Lions looked dangerous for long stretches. This group is not finished. Lamine Yamal's goal in that match made him the youngest scorer in Spanish World Cup history, beating a record that had stood since 1962. Group C, Brazil opened with a nervy 1-0 win over Switzerland. Vinicius Jr. with the only goal, a curling effort in the second half, but Brazil were unconvincing. The Silicaro are still favourites, but Dorival Jr.'s side did not look like a team ready to dominate. In the group's other game, Serbia surprised Japan 2-1. Group C is beautifully balanced after match day 1. Over in Group E, England. Bukayo Saka opened the scoring inside 6 minutes against Iran in a match England eventually won 4-1. Harry Kane added a penalty, Jude Bellingham provided 2 assists. Controlled, clinical, and a reminder of just how deep England's talent pool has become. England's 4 goals against Iran matched their best ever World Cup opening match score. The difference between this squad and previous England sides? They are finishing their chances. Group F, Portugal edged past South Korea 1-0 in a tight, tactical match in Vancouver. No Ronaldo in the starting lineup, Ruben Neves captained the side. Bruno Fernandes with the only goal from the spot. Portugal winning without their former talisman sends its own kind of message. Germany meanwhile demolished Saudi Arabia 5-1. Niklas Füllkrug with a hat-trick. Germany are back, and they look ferocious. Füllkrug's hat-trick was the first by a German player at a World Cup since Miroslav Klose in 2002. The striker who almost missed the squad through injury is now the tournament's joint top scorer after matchday 1. Groups G through L completed the first full round of fixtures across the week. Norway's Erling Haaland scored twice against Mexico in a 2-1 win, a result that silenced a passionate crowd in Guadalajara and sent Group G into immediate chaos. Mexico, one of the 3 host nations, starting with a defeat. The pressure begins immediately. Haaland scored twice on his World Cup debut. Norway had never previously qualified for the tournament in his era. For him, this is uncharted territory, and this tournament is about more than personal milestones. Let's look at the complete group table picture after matchday 1, because several nations are already in early tournament danger, and a few others look primed to qualify before we even reach matchday 3. The qualification picture at this stage is still wide open, but already, the mathematical reality is pressing down on some giants. In the expanded 48-team format, the top 2 from each group are for advance directly, with the best third-place finishers also progressing. That means finishing bottom with 0 points after matchday 1 is a crisis. France, Mexico, Morocco. They must win matchday 2, or they face elimination mathematics by the final group game. But here is the thing about week 2, and this is where you need to stay with us. Because the fixtures coming in the next 7 days include France versus Argentina, Brazil versus Serbia, England versus the Netherlands, Spain versus Germany, and Norway versus the United States. Matchday 2 of the 2026 World Cup could be the most dramatic single week in tournament history. France versus Argentina. The 2022 World Cup final, remade. On American soil. With France in crisis and Argentina in form. If you think week 1 was extraordinary, you have not seen anything yet. That is week 1 of the 2026 World Cup, every result, every shock, every table shift, every emerging star and fallen giant. The tournament is 7 days old and it has already delivered more drama than most tournaments manage in their entirety. Here is your question for the comments: who survives, France or Mexico? One of these fallen giants will be eliminated before matchday 3. Tell us which one you think is going home. And if you want the week 2 recap, every result, every table, every shock, the moment it drops, hit subscribe. We are here every single week until a champion is crowned.